what is the concept of break or vacation in Islam? What does Islam say about that? Did the Prophet and the early Sahaba and the early Muslims have a summer vacation or a summer break? Of course no. The lifestyle was, much different from the lifestyle we have nowadays. But they have their own breaks, not yearly as we have nowadays, but they have it on weekly basis, on daily basis, if you can say. They have their own time to take off from their business and from their work. They have this concept as well. So with that being said, we must know that in our Islam, we have a space for taking a break, for changing our lifestyle, if you can say, for making the depression and the light pressure lesser and lesser so that we can continue what we are doing. I will give an example to that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, in the very tough and hard times, he will give some time for himself so that he changes the daily life routine and the mood. When they are coming back from one of the battle, he will tell the Muslims to go forward, and he and his wife Aisha will have a race running. So she won the race one time. Then in another occasion when they're traveling as well, they raced after some years. وكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قد حمل اللحم. He became more heavy in the weight. So this time she won the race. So the first time he won the race, the second time she won the race. So she said, we are equal now, we're tied. So this is despite the fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is very busy. He has a big ummah to teach. Most of his time he's giving to the ummah, but he will take from his time to his family and to his wives. So this is how he's doing it. We see that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even in the masjid, he is praying, and the kids, Al-Hasan and Hussein, his grandsons, come running and they climb over his back and they're playing, and he's giving them more time in sujood so that they take their time. And after the salah, he will hug them and play with them, even though he's lecturing the ummah and giving them speeches. Why? Because he knows, especially for youngers, we need to give them some more time for fun. They need it, because when they grow up, they're not going to have it. And if they don't have it when they're young, that might be a complex for them when they grow up. They never live their own childhood. And this is a very big problem. When the family goes very strict on their own children when they're young and don't give them some space to play and to have fun, then those kids will not live a normal good life. So we have to be careful at that. So if the Prophet and the Sahaba are allowing their own kids to play with toys in their time, and at the same time they're encouraging them and teaching them how to fast. Al-Rubayy' bint Muawwidh said that whenever the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to fast the day of Ashura, we fasted that day. That was in the beginning of Islam. We fasted that day, and we were teaching our youngers, little kids who are around 7, 8 and 9, to start fasting. So when some of them are close to the Maghrib and they're crying or complaining about the hunger, we will give them some toys so that they will forget about the hunger and continue their fasting. So they give space for playing. Even Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, the way his sons got into him to allow Yusuf to go with them, they told him, أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب. Let him come with us tomorrow so that he will have fun and play. So if this is wrong, Prophet Yaqub wouldn't allow it. But he's allowing this little kid Yusuf to go with his brothers, to play and to have fun. So this is not something wrong at all, to play and to have fun, as long as this is governed by the laws and the rules of Islam. Having fun is okay, but disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is never okay. So we have to differentiate between both of them. Because sometimes the Quran, or most of the times if you can say, when the Quran mentions Allah and the la'ib, He mentioned it in the context of people who are not aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they spend their full time in playing and ignoring the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all the ayat that bring those two words together, la'iban wa lahwan, or allahu wal la'ib. So all these ayat And some ayat start with la'ib first, and some ayat start with lahu first. All these ayat are talking exclusively about the kuffar. Why? Because they are spending all their time in lahu and la'ib, and they never think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they never come to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a different story. That's off the track. But we're talking about the people, the normal Muslims, who are giving some of their time for having fun. Because we are humans. We get bored. We get tired. So we need to change that mood by having some fun and having some, some time for getting a break from what we're doing. Aisha radiallahu anha wa ardaha said in the hadith, كان الحبش يلعبون في مسجد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. الحبش, people from Al-Habasha, they used to come and make, some of their own movements and some of their funny stuff in the masjid of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم on the days of Eid, as kind of celebration. وكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يسمح لهم. The Prophet will allow them to bring happiness to the Muslims and to the community. وكنت أنظر إليهم. I used to watch them. ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم واقف أمامي. The Prophet will stand at the door. I stand behind him so that nobody can see me, and I look over his shoulder and I look at them when they're playing and making their funny movements. So that is okay to have that, to have some fun, to have some playing in the summer. Since this is a school year, we have been, under the pressure of studying and academics for a long time. So it is fine, totally fine. Even for the elders, not just for children. Since you're going to take off from your work for a week or two or a month, whatever your break is, then it is okay for you also to change your routine so that when you come back to your work, you will feel fresh. You will feel like you are starting a new year and you are in a good mood as well. But you cannot stay the same as you are and overload yourself, even though you're taking off from your work, overload yourself with a lot of work. Then when the vacation is off, you feel no change in your life. You have done this to yourself. We have to be careful about that. I would like to mention here one hadith that Hudayfa radiallahu anhu arda, Hanzala al-Asdi, this Sahabi, he was walking one day and then Abu Bakr as-Siddiq stopped him, said, كيف حالك? How are you doing today, Ya Hanzala? So he stopped for a moment and he started to think about, how he's doing. And then he said to him an answer that surprised Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Said, نافق حنظلة. I feel like I'm doing some acts of hypocrisy. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq said, وما ذلك? Why are you saying that? قال إنا إذا كنا عند رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. When we are by the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم in front of him and he's talking to us, يحدثنا عن الجنة والنار كأننا رأي عين. When he's talking to us about the Jannah and the Nar, we have high iman as if we see the Jannah and the Nar in front of our eyes. So this is a really higher level of iman. فإذا عدنا من عنده, when we go back home from that, عافسنا الزوجات والأولاد والأموال, we get back to our normal life. We're joking with our wives and children, playing with them. We're busy with our business, as if we forgot about that. That's why I'm saying that I feel this is hypocrisy in my life. I want to stay at that high level all the time. قال كلنا كذلك. All of us like that. You are threatening me as well now by what you are saying. هيا بنا ننطلق إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Let's go to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم and ask him about that. So they mentioned to him the conversation they have, and then the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم told them that this is not hypocrisy. He corrected them about that. قال والله, I swear by Allah, لو ظللتم على ما أنتم فيه. If you stayed the same state as you were with me all the time, that higher level of iman, لصافحتكم الملائكة. The malaika, the angels will shake your hands. على سروركم وفي طرقاتكم. When you are laying on your beds, inside your homes, and while you are walking in the street. You will be angels. You're not going to be humans anymore. That's a really, really high level. If you can keep that all the time, 24 hours, you will be ranked with the malaika right away. ولكن يا حنظلة, then he told Handara and Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sa'atun wa sa'a. Some time for that, for the remembrance of Allah, for the learning the Quran and the Sunnah, for coming to the masjid, for taking it so strict when you're reading the Quran. You do your best, and some other time you're going to spend with the family when you have a break and talk to them. That doesn't mean that time you're going to forget totally about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the akhirah. No. But you are living your normal life, which is okay. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them, sa'a wa sa'a. A lot of people misunderstand that. They think sa'a wa sa'a. In some hours or some time of his day, he will come to the Jumu'ah, and some other time he will be going outside, smoking drugs and stuff like this. The Sheikh said, sa'a wa sa'a, sometime and sometime. No. It doesn't mean this at all. Nobody should understand it this way. No. Sa'a, some time for doing your best in the ibadah and the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and sa'a for relaxing, cooling down, giving some time for the family and the friends, and the normal, life activities. That's fine. So this is not hypocrisy. That's not nifaq, because we're humans. We have our needs. We need some time for eating. You need some time to talking to other people, because we're social humans by nature. You cannot just stay by yourself 24 hours, reading Quran or Hadith or praying, whatever. You cannot do that. But you need that time when you stay with the family and the beloved ones. So this is the concept of taking a break or cooling down your life, which is fine. However, again, I must remind all of you and myself first that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned one amazing hadith about that. He said that لِكُلِّ عَمَلٍ شِرَّةٍ. Every deed has its own peak. When you go to the highest point of doing that, when you're reading Quran and you break the record for yourself, and then instead of reading 2-3 pages that day, you made it to 7 pages or 10 pages. So, mashallah, you are at your highest that day. Or when you're reading the night prayer, you used to finish the night prayer in maybe in 20 minutes, so you took 40 minutes. So you find yourself so active. All of us, sometimes there will come a time when you find yourself more active, more willing to do good deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So take advantage of it. لِكُلِّ عَمَلٍ شِرَّةٍ, like highest point of it. You get some activity, so don't lose it. Take the advantage of it, because it's not going to stay at the same rate all the time. Again, we're humans. Sometimes we feel so active, and sometimes we're going to go down, we feel lazy. لِكُلِّ عَمَلٍ شِرٌّ. Every deed has its own high activity. وَلِكُلِّ شِرَّةٍ فَتْرَةٍ. But this high activity will come one day and go down. Then you have the cooling down. This is the fatra, when you cool down. فَمَنْ كَانَتْ فَتْرَتُهُ إلى سنتي فقد هدي ورشد. The person, when he cools down, he does not go against the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or does not go against the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he's good. He's guided. He is doing the right thing. So this is what we're telling you. Even though we are encouraging everybody to have fun, to spend a lot of time of your vacation to feel happy, give some time for the family and friends, for visiting your relatives, go outside a lot, but at the same time, do not do anything that displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a condition. Don't say it's time off, we will do whatever we want to do. No, that is not the right thing to do. A lot of people plan some activities. They should do it in the summer, but these activities again are governed by what's halal and what's haram in Islam. You make your own plan for the summer. You should plan ahead for it to make advantage of it. As you make your own plans for your work, for your study, again, you need to make plan for your summer if you have a long vacation in it. For you and for your family and for your children, if you have children as well. You have to do that. Why? Because again, this is a time for fun. But believe it or not, you're not gonna waste all that time, 24 hours in the fun. So you must have in the plan as well that time I will give for visiting our relatives, checking on them. That time I will give for learning a new skill, teaching my own children a new skill. Maybe some of them don't know how to swim yet, so I'm going to give them some swimming classes. Maybe in these 2-3 weeks, they will make it. It doesn't need a lot of time. So this summer, we're going to do that. Maybe some of them don't know how to bike, so I teach them how to ride the bike and how to do that. Maybe some of them don't know how to drive a car yet, and they are ready to do that, so it's time to teach them how to do that. So learning new skills for the youngers and also for the elders, the people who are old. You might be missing some skills that you need. Maybe in the summer you're going to take some classes in teaching you how to read Quran in the proper way, classes of tajweed. You can do it in 2-3 weeks or in a month. You will be perfect in reading Quran. So you can take that. Maybe you want to make yourself better in reading in the first place, reading Arabic. So in the summer, you're going to take some classes or sit with some brothers who are going to teach you how to read more fluent. Maybe you want to learn some Arabic grammar. So in summer, you're going to go for it with someone who knows some grammar and give you some basics or some advanced grammar if you're that good in grammar. Whatever you want to learn, give some time to it because this is your break, yes. But in this break, you have long time. You have the whole day. So you're not planning to use all the time in just fun and wasting it. And sometimes you don't have anything to do. So make yourself busy. But again, make sure you change your daily routine because this is the main point of you getting into the summertime. You know, as long as you have the vacation and you are off from the work. So make your plans, brothers and sisters, from now on for yourself and for your children because we need to take advantage of it. For the children, you know that they're struggling with some classes, so it's time for them to take some courses in the summer. You're not going to give them the whole day, but have an hour every day or every other day. It's not a big deal. Maybe they're not that good in reading Quran, so you put them in a class with one sheikh or one sister, so they teach them how to read Quran in the summertime. This is the time that you're going to have all the fun and you're going to fill in the gaps. Whatever you're missing, try to give some time for that because this is your best chance. قولوا قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله فاللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وبعد. A lot of brothers and sisters put their children in summer camps and summer activities, which is great. We need to do that because by himself he might get bored, he might be doing it the wrong way, so you need to do that. But at the same time, you have to keep an eye on the children. Follow up with them. Know what's going on in these activities. Know about the progress they are making. Talk to them about their friends, about what they have done in their day. Because even though we're telling you to make them more social, but sometimes you might have bad influence from their own friends. So we have to be careful about the friends. Even for us, we have to be careful about the ones that we surround ourselves with because it makes a big difference. The Prophet ﷺ gave, a great example in the hadith about that, about the friendship, about selecting and choosing your own friends and the people who sit with you most of the time. He said, مثل الجليس الصالح والجليس السوء. The example of the good companion, the one that you're going to keep his company, and the bad companion, the one that he has a bad company, he will give bad influence on you, or a bad friend if you can say, is like the example of حامل المسك ونافخ الكير. The example of someone who has perfumes and colognes with him and he's selling them and giving them away. So if you have his company, if you are with him, then would you have something bad? No, you have something good. Why? Because what are the chances? The chances are فَإِمَّا أَن تَبْتَاعَ مِنْهُ, either that you're buying from him, some good smelling cologne or perfume for yourself, which makes you happy, you smell the good smell. وَإِمَّا أَنْ يُحْذِيَكَ, or he might give you some as a gift, which is good at the same time. وَإِمَّا أَنْ تَشْتَمَّ مِنْهُ رِيحًا طَيِّبًا, or at least if you're not buying or he's not giving you as a gift, the time that you're spending with him, you still get some good smell from the smell that he had. You never lost anything. Actually, it is the opposite. But the bad friend, on the other hand, is like the smith, the one who's working with the steel and burning it to take the shawa'ib, all the rubbish away, to make it, pure. That person, as long as he's working, you're going to find sparks of fire flying around. So what's going to happen? Some of them will come on you and burn your clothes or your shirt or your pants. So you have to be careful. This company is a bad company. You are in the wrong place. Or if you are keeping a big distance between you and the fire, so the sparks are not coming on you, you're going to have the smell of the smoke all the time coming to your nose and your chest, and you're almost choking. So you better get out. Leave this man. So this is an example of a bad friend. He might influence you in a bad way, that he takes you all the way to the haram, or you might be exposed to the haram, that you see him doing haram stuff in front of you, so you might be okay with it. And after a while, you might be thinking of doing it. So you have to be careful about the people who are around you. You choose your friends carefully, because they used to say, tell me who is your friend, I'm going to tell you who you are. Because the friends, are the ones who share the same interest. If your friend is good and he's someone who is encouraging you all the time, let's go to the masjid, pray in jama'ah, let's read Quran, let us, read our adhkar in the morning and the evening. So all the time, he's reminding you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you have a bad friend, all the time he's taking you to the wrong places and exposing you to things that are haram. And every time you tell him, no, that's not me, I don't do that, say, just one time. And this is how the shaitan gets into you. He's going to get you from that. You think that you're going to do it one time, but it's never been one time. This is the beginning of the shaitan. He's taking you one time, and then you will be used to it. The first time you do the sin or the bad deed, you will feel so sad, so depressed, so sorry. But the second time will be much less, because you're going to say to yourself, well, it's not the first time for me to do it. I did it before. So you don't feel that guilt or that guilty about it anymore. The third time, much less. The fourth time, maybe it's very okay for you. You don't even, your eyes doesn't blink when you do that. Why? Because you're used to the haram, which is a problematic thing. Why? Because you didn't watch out for yourself in the beginning. So don't think that little haram is okay, because إِيَّاكُمْ وَمُحَقِّرَاتِ الذُّنُوبِ. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ warned the ummah and say, be aware of the little tiny sins and bad deeds. فَإِنَّهُنَّ قَدْ يَجْتَمِعْنَ عَرَى الرَّجُلِ فَيُهْلِكْنَهُ. They might accumulate on you, tiny, small sins over small sins, until they become as big as mountains on the top of you. Then they take you down and destroy you. So don't think, oh, it's okay, it's one time, it's a little thing, it's not a big deal. Okay, then you continue doing that until وكانوا يقولون أن عظيم النار أو مستعظم النار من مستصغر الشرر. He used to say the big fire that you see burning a building or a place or even a jungle, how did it happen? From a small little flame or sparkle. This is how it starts. So that little sin that you're doing might be the one is going to get you into destruction, might be the one that's going to destroy your life. So again, we're getting closer to the vacation or the summer vacation. We have to plan it right. We have to have fun in it, and also keep the balance of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the full time, so that means you can attend the 5 daily prayers in jama'ah. You didn't have that time because most of the time you are at work or at your school. Now alhamdulillah you have the time, and attending the jama'ah wouldn't take that much time from you. So you have to keep yourself also at the time, keep the balance of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and having the fun and changing your routine, so that when you come to the new school year or the new year, you feel fresh and you feel happy and you feel ready for that.